Good morning. My apologies for being a few minutes delayed to this morning. Oh my goodness. I have been up since the wee hours of the morning and kind of down the rabbit hole, or maybe it's the wormhole. I'm not sure what a hole it is. Really engrossed and in working within some writing for my book and trying to meet some deadlines. I'm actually headed to Phoenix this coming weekend. So I'm also trying to get a whole lot of stuff out of the way so that I can actually take a few days off to fully engage and play while I am there. So I apologize. I was completely lost in what I was doing and then saw, oh my gosh, it's so important. I have people waiting, of course, this morning, and you guys being those beautiful, wonderful people. So my gosh, so we've had a really beautiful experience together on Saturday. I've also put together, as you've been going through the course material, some ways to begin to really take a look at what beliefs are sitting in that subconscious, what is creating some of the limitation and some of the challenges that you may be experiencing in terms of your own life, regardless of the effort that you're putting in and all of the things that you're doing, doing all of the stuff and yet still not maybe being able to move forward or move past the past in a way that you would have hoped for, or in a way that even maybe you're looking to experience life, even in moving forward. So we're really becoming very conscious of what's going on inside of us. And I've shared with you some ways to begin to pay attention to the things you say and to the things that you're thinking. What are other people saying? What are their beliefs? And even other people can be that mirror that can show us of something that may need to be shifted or healed inside of us. Now, there is this spiritual teaching or this spiritual understanding that the mirror reflection, it's like the mirror reflection of the bad that exists in someone else is a reflection of us. And that's actually not true. And I think in some way, the whole mirror reflection has been a little bit misconstrued. There are things about us, obviously, that we need to pay attention to. One of these being, what is this showing me about me? But what is this showing me about me does not necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It may be showing us something that we've already healed or processed, or it may be showing us that we hold a different belief or we have a different perspective and understanding of something that someone else doesn't have. So the reflection isn't just about the bad stuff that exists inside of you. And as I said, that's been a teaching that's been so misconstrued, which only further adds to our inadequacy, our feelings of inferiority, and this perpetual cycle of maybe even self-criticism or whatever it is, in some way that it affects our not enoughness in some way. And so we want to utilize the analogy of the reflection of the mirror, especially when we're looking at the subconscious beliefs, but we don't want to own all the shitty things about other people, because at the end of the day, some people are just shitty human beings. They're just assholes, and it has nothing to do with us. So just to be conscientious and aware that when we're taking a look or using that analogy of the reflection, it's not about everything that is bad about you. Just like I said, other people's stuff is not necessarily yours. So it doesn't reflect 100% of truth. It is an opportunity for us to reflect upon what our invitations are. Perhaps there's something to shift and heal, or an awareness or understanding of ourselves in what could be a concept of what is our greater truth. So we're going to use that, as I said, over this next period of time. This is going to allow you to really reflect upon what's going on inside of you, what's sitting at the subconscious, what's true for me, and what is it that I would like it to be instead. That's really what it ultimately comes down to. And it always, again, it's not in the seeking of why do I have this belief? Why does this exist? It's about what is this about, and what change can I make? What choice do I have? What can I initiate or alter inside of myself. So I begin to experience life in a completely new way, and experience life based on how you feel and how you engage in your relationships, and how how you show up, and how do you every single day that can be affected, or that ripple effect that can go out into the whole world around us based on all associations and connections that we may have. So we begin to look at what's sitting in the underbelly of the subconscious, what's there. And as I said, I've given you some key things to begin to take a look at. But what I wanted to also give you this morning is one of the ways in which that you can be self-empowered to begin to alter and shift what's going on in the subconscious as well. Now, the work I do is one that allows for me to help and support individuals to move into the theta brainwave. And the theta brainwave is a powerful brainwave that really helps us. It really helps us to heighten what can become possible for us. It's a deep relaxation state of the mind, and it gives us opportunity to rewire our limiting beliefs and tap into the subconscious in order to manifest what are greater positive changes in our lives. And it's a state of mind that is very receptive to affirmations. It's very receptive to our visualization. And so we can utilize this brain wave in which to really leverage, so to speak, our life, or leverage, this the leverage the they're telling me to leverage the impact or the quality of our life experiences. So leverage the impact of our trauma, which means we can find the wisdom from it. We can alter and shift the effects that it's had on us, and then of course what it is that we're looking to manifest in our life instead. So it's one of the facets of the work that I do when and what you experience even as we work together on Saturday, that allows for some deep, profound shifts to take place. It's a very almost, I would say it's a deep, deep relaxation, and it's different than being hypnotized. But it still is within the same constructs or same idea. It's where, again, the conscious mind basically goes to sleep, and we invite the subconscious to come forward, and we work with it directly instead. So it becomes that when we understand the subconscious mind is the override for the experiences we have in our life, we're going to go straight to the source in order to shift and change, to get the conscious and subconscious mind working together in collaboration for living what is our best life. Now, you don't need to be trained in any kind of modality in order to access the theta brainwave. It is a natural aspect of our progressive states when we go to sleep. There are many different, as you know, you've heard of the alpha state, the beta state, the delta state, the theta state. These are all states or brain waves that occur at different times throughout our day. And so what this becomes is just opportunity for us to be able to utilize those time periods in our day to enact and actualize some positive change in our life. So one of the things that you're going to see that I've asked of you to do is to really take a look at creating some affirmations or some powerful statements that you can begin to use in your practices. Now you can, as I shared with you on Saturday, it can take 21 days through repetition of using an affirmation to alter and shift what's going on in the subconscious. Whereas the theta brain waves allow that shift to happen instantaneously. So how do you access this? If this is such a natural thing, how can you find when it is best to be able to do this for yourself? Well, the answer to that is just before you fall asleep at night. As you begin to settle from the day, as you go through different brain waves in as you begin to drift off to sleep. And the theta brain wave is that moment just before you completely zonk out. So it is the most relaxed state of mind. And when you can begin to identify that relaxation state, that feeling and sense of, oh, I'm just about ready to fall asleep, that is the key and pivotal moment in which to begin to plant some seeds into the subconscious mind. And in that moment, that's where, again, taking 2 or 3 of your affirmations, and I always like to use I am statements because they're the most empowering. I am healthy. I am, you know, financially abundant. I am, happy. I am at peace. I am. Using I am is a real power declaration in the universe. It holds a lot of magnetism. And so utilizing I am statements just before you fall asleep in that theta brainwave, creating it like a repetition of a mantra just as you fall asleep. It really becomes this prayer state that allows you to decree and declare what it is that you would like to shift, change, or alter within your own self so that you begin to experience life in a better or in a different way. One in a different way, what I mean by that is one that's more aligned in terms of what is truth for you. So this becomes this altering state where you just begin to utilize the natural opportunity that you have within the functions of the miraculous aspect of your mind in which to shift and make these changes. So I would suggest, pick 2 or 3 of those affirmations that you can easily recite over and over and over again, and begin to use them every single night over the next couple of weeks. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't take long to shift or change within the subconscious mind. It happens instantaneously. But repetition, just as I shared with you on Saturday, the more that we choose the new thought system, the more that it becomes our truth. It becomes, instead of a trickling stream, it becomes a reservoir for us to relax and flow in. And then the old belief systems, because they're not being used, they begin to dry up. And this is no different. So it just becomes a practiced state. So even though the beliefs will shift instantaneously, the first time you do it, the repetition is what's going to create the reservoir that's going to allow it to be comfortable and for it to become what is a defined truth within you. So just take 2 or 3 of those, use that theta brainwave before you go to sleep like that. Now, if you are someone who maybe struggles in falling asleep in terms of what might be, you can't shut your mind down. Or if you're the other way, where the moment your head hits the pillow, you're out and you don't have any opportunity to really recognize any state of mind that's going on for you, any of those waveforms or patterns, then what another helpful tip here is that you can you just record for yourself in your own voice. And you can, of course, have some nice, beautiful meditative music if you wanted to do it that way. But just to record yourself saying the affirmations over and over again. You might want to have a recording that maybe it's going to be a half an hour long. Maybe it's going to be 15 minutes long. It doesn't matter the time frame of it. It's just a matter for you to utilize it so that it can begin to plant the seeds in the subconscious while you sleep, which means that if you could simply listen to the recording when the mind is restless and you can't shut it down, it's going to give a pattern or what will be the mantra, the prayer for your mind to focus on, which is actually going to help you fall asleep. So it's going to slow the mind down, and it's going to give you something to focus on instead of everything else. Your to-do list, what happened in the past, what you regret, what whatever it is, whatever I mean, our minds can be such beasts in terms of the thoughts that we have the moment we crawl into bed. So this is just going to allow the mind to slow down, which is going to support you to sleep. And of course, if you are that person who zonks out immediately, this is also going to, when we're sleeping, when the ego goes to sleep, we become available. We become available not only in terms of, we could say, conversations with our spirit guides and our loved ones on the other side, but our subconscious mind also becomes available. The ego goes to sleep, which means the conscious mind is no longer holding the gate, so to speak, on anything getting through. We become so susceptible and palpable within, when we're sleeping, for these impressions to come in. It's why we receive guidance through our dream state. It's because the ego's sleeping. So our guides can finally get through to us and give us some very valuable information that maybe we're not able to access or receive during the day. So we become very available. And so here, by simply even having this mantra, on repeat, just having it on a cycle of repeat while you're sleeping is also going to help to plant those seeds in the subconscious. So you can do it by, as I said, the moment that you go to sleep, when you're going to sleep at night, you can personally recite this as a mantra if you can identify that absolute deep relaxed state, or you can utilize technology to help and support you through those times in which to, bring in that new information for the subconscious to work with. Now, to understand that whatever we are thinking when we fall asleep will be what the mind works with all night long. So when we are going to sleep at night and we are caught up in our stress, we're in a negative mindset, we are frustrated, we're whatever it is, whatever we go to bed with is basically what we're making love with all night long. So we want to be very conscientious about what we go to sleep with. We want to make not just who we go to sleep with, but what we go to sleep with at night, because it really does affect our psychological well-being, the emotional, our emotional, our mental well-being. It also affects our spiritual, but our physical as well. When we go to sleep in negative thought patterns, and our mind is making love with that all night long, we wake up compounded with the stress, compounded with the exhaustion, compounded with the negative energy that were behind the thoughts and entangled in the emotion when we went to sleep, which means it makes it really hard to wake up in the morning. We can be tired, exhausted, our body can be full of aches and pains and tension. And so we need to be very cognizant of what it is that we're doing when we're looking at altering our life and doing this deeper healing work. So instead, when we go to bed, reciting affirmations, playing the affirmations, as I shared from a recording that you've done, when we're going to bed with the positive, we're making love to the positive, which means this is what the mind is working with. And we wake up feeling, in a matter, honestly, I'm telling you, like in a matter of like probably 3 or 4 days, you will wake up feeling rested. You will wake up feeling energized. You will wake up without the tension and tightness in your body, simply because there is no toxicity that you are working with through the night, through the mind patterns or through the thoughts that exist there. So that's a part how it can affect us, and we can feel better as a result. But the other beautiful thing that takes place is that our mind is a powerful source for manifestation of the things that we're experiencing in our life. That information that's going out through the mind, whether on a conscious level or as I said, that override of the subconscious, that through the law of attraction, it begins to bring to us experiences and situations in our life that back up what is being held in the subconscious mind. So whatever the subconscious deems is true is what it invites into our lives in what we experience or what we have to deal with. So, here in altering what's going on in your state of mind as you're falling asleep, utilizing that theta brainwave, and while you're sleeping, that the mind is working with that information instead. New seeds are being planted in the subconscious, and what we focus on is what we are giving our energy towards, which means that when the mind is busy focusing through these affirmations and mantras or through the recording that you're listening to in whatever way you're doing it, that this becomes what's the source of what's being impressed upon the universe. The universe is always listening to what's going on in the mind state. And so when our mind is focused on positive and the energy is going towards positive, that's what's going to expand and manifest for our lives. When our mind is focused on the negative and it's focused on the suffering, that's where the energy is going, and that's what's going to increase. So when we look at, we have the power and source within us to shift and change a lot of stuff in our life just by simply becoming aware of some of these states of mind within the wave patterns and the frequencies that allow us to most incredibly alter the state of our very existence. And so it can enhance, this is what enhances life in a way that is insurmountable. This is the very key to what has helped me unlock what has been the belief systems and the pain, the suffering, the entanglements of my traumas and the past, to unlock it, to unravel it, and begin to alter and change my experience with myself and my experience with life. So, this is one of the key components in manifesting positive outcomes. It's one of the key components in being able to alter and change how you feel in every single day. And I really encourage you to look at giving this a try for yourself. And again, let me know in the forum. Like I said, in a few short days, in a few short hours, days, even within a few weeks, you're going to see it really begins to shift and change how you wake up in the morning and how you engage with life. And it really, man, it just takes you out of that yeah, just takes you out of the past and out of what was and out of the confusion, and helps you to wake up to something more and positive and beautiful for life itself. All right, everyone. So thank you for hanging out with me. I really hope that that is helpful, insightful, and is a tool that will also help you in moving forward. And yeah, I just really appreciate each and every one of you in your willingness to show up and to do this good work and to allow me to share what I know has been so helpful, therapeutic, and transforming for me. So have an amazing day. God bless you. And yeah, be well. Keep shining. Bye bye for now.